All right, a warm welcome back to the coverage of the supplementary elections. And we thank you for staying with us. We have with us from our Abuja studios, Mr. Kabir Adamo, who is a security expert and an election observer, and of course, Mr. Shamsuddin Yusuf, Senior Program Manager of the Center for Democracy and Development, who is an election observer.
Mr. Light, before you go to them, Yemi Kosoko, correspondent in Plateau State, is on standby. I think we should just dash.
Yeah, maybe we should just dash down to Plateau State
and see how they're preparing for the supplementary.
Yeah, Yemi.
Yes, thank you. There is.
Please, can you turn off this one directly on the
development in just Plateau State right now is that there is a restriction of movement of persons and vehicles as the supplementary elections will be taking place tomorrow. According to a release by the police just this evening, there will not be movement of persons and vehicles across the 17 local government areas of Plateau State from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. This is to prevent people that will be moving from where there are no elections to probably where elections will be taking place, according to the police public relation officer, DSP Theopef. This is also to curb any form of disturbance around the polling units, 40 of them tomorrow across 9 local government areas in Plateau State. And also the DIG in charge of logistics and supply, DIG Taiwo Lukanu, is in town. He came in this afternoon and he addressed officers and, of the police force to supervise the supplementary elections. This is also to inform them on the instructions of the Inspector General of Police on how to go about having a peaceful election here on the plateau. Just this evening too, National INEC Commissioner Professor Antonia Okowusi Simbine came into town also to see that the supplementary elections across the 9 local government areas in Plateau State is also successful. So far, materials, sensitive materials and non-sensitive materials have been distributed and transported to the various polling units where the supplementary elections will be taking place. Only one local government area, that is Lantan South local government, will be having supplementary elections for the House of Assembly. The other local governments that are 9 will be having supplementary elections for the governorship election. And of course, we have 48,828 registered voters across the 9 local government elections that will be coming out tomorrow to determine who will be the next governor of Plateau State. So far, the battle line is drawn between the 2 leading candidates. However, Mango local government seems to be holding the ace, where more than 75% of the supplementary elections will be holding, and this is somewhere that is very, very crucial. Crucial in the sense that the deputy governors or the 2 leading political parties are from this local government area, and that is talking about James Gallock of the PDP and Professor Sonny Tioden of the APC. The 2 of them are deputy governors to the various candidates, and they are from Mango local government area. You can see how sensitive this area is, and that is why this is where the ace for who will become the governor of Plateau State is very, very crucial. In addition to that, people have been going around and there is last-minute shopping because of the restriction of movement tomorrow. A lot of people were not very comfortable believing that the restriction will be within the local government areas where the elections will be taking place. But the police, in order to curb any form of violence or any movement from one area to the other, which might lead to chaos based on security information they had, have to impose this restriction on movement of vehicles and persons. Only those that are going to cast their votes are allowed to move. And anything short of that, no movement, and this will also affect interstate as well as intrastate movement concerning the supplementary elections that are scheduled for tomorrow. However, all is set, and Plateau is set to have the supplementary election, hoping that this time around it will be conclusive.
Okay, so Plateau is set,
yes,
according
indeed.
to him.
What I got from what he said is that there are 9 local governments, 8 of them doing supplementary elections. We want to thank Yemi Kosoko for that report from Jos, the Plateau State capital. And we hope, like he hopes, that the elections after them tomorrow, they will be conclusive at the end of
because remember, there is a timeline
to
conduct the whole process. So.
Indeed. Well, we're back to our guests, Kabir Adamo and Shamsuddin Yusuf, and then our Abuja studios. And we're going to raise the issue of voter apathy, because all of this is dependent upon people coming out to vote tomorrow. We've had some legal opinion earlier in the program, which talked about the fact that whether or not people tend to vote, there is no legal minimum for number of voters that make an election valid or legitimate. But having said that, in your views, do you think that enough has been done to ensure that the voter turnout is a bit higher than the average that took place during the governorship elections?
Kano State is amongst the 18 states where governorship rerun elections will be taking place tomorrow. And of course, Kano State governorship elections was declared inconclusive due to overvoting and violence in some local government areas. And here we are right in Nasarawa local government area. Nasarawa local government area is one of the local governments with the largest number of registered voters. And of course, Gama is the place to be. I'm right here in Gama, and Gama has 62 polling units where this election will be taking place tomorrow. We would speak to some of the residents here and find out their thoughts and their polls on going to the ballots tomorrow to cast their votes. How do you feel going back tomorrow to cast your votes on governorship rerun elections?
We thank God and we pray to God there is no anything violence to happen. May people come out to vote, go back home safely. We don't want any interrupt and other, we don't want any trouble, because we prepare for tomorrow election and we pray nothing will happen by the grace of God.
Okay, so you are prepared to go to the polls tomorrow to cast your votes?
We prepare by the grace of God. Tomorrow, all of us will come out and vote for any party you want. So that is our plan and that is our prepare. So and we pray to God to anything violence to not happen.
Actually, we are very happy that this our community is gaining more enlightenment, and they said they have sent DIG, AIG from various states. So we are expecting peace, and we are expecting peaceful election. That's all.
Gama ward, as you can see, remains one of the largest wards here in Nasarawa, in Kano State in general. It has been clear that they've been producing and giving largest votes in terms of House representatives or state assembly. So also when it is time for governorship, they've been contributing very large amount of votes. Perhaps that's why you see that the two political parties are agitating. That each and every one of them is trying to win this particular and the largest Gama ward. So that's why, but yet, I do believe that we are determined to conduct our election peacefully tomorrow. Despite there may be problem one or the other from other hooligans, but I do hope we will conduct a free and fair election.
Yeah, we're here with one of the elders in Gama ward to also speak to us on his expectations tomorrow and what exactly has been going on in Gama for the past 2 weeks, to build up to the governorship rerun elections. Sir, can you tell us exactly what's been happening here and what?
First and foremost, my name is Biala Alcaria. I'm living here in Gama Ward, and this is central part of Gama Ward. We are already, all electoral are ready. We don't expect any violence or whatever. In fact, the security is comfortable, it's okay for us. We don't expect anything to happen tomorrow. So all our electorate, as I've said, they are ready for this.
Okay, how do you feel? Gama has become so popular in the past few weeks. How do you feel about that?
In fact, we are very much happy with how the world, it has been, you know, it has been known all over the world. I cannot even say Nigeria, it's all over the world. And for this, even for these rerun elections, many things are happening. Even the government is contributing a lot, which were not there before. Construction of roads, so many things are happening now. Both the side, even the opposite are coming to see the people. So I think with this name of Gama, it will be the end of this election. Thank you very much.
All right, I have been speaking to residents here in Gama ward, and like I said earlier, Gama has 62 polling units. It's a determinant for who becomes the next governor of Kano State. Gama ward, Nasarawa local government area, Kano State.
All right, then, Nanchin Vincent intruded upon my
apologies for that.
Apologies for that. But Nanchin Vincent there giving us an update from Nasarawa local government area of Kano, where there will, of course, be supplementary elections. It's one of the areas where there will be.
And I remember her the last time trying to do that report in that circumstance.
In that same location. But I understand that we can now go back to Jos, the Plateau State capital, where Yemi Kosoko is on the line, I believe. And Yemi, if you can hear us from Jos, the Plateau State capital, apart from your report that you've given us, have you been able to feel the mood of the people ahead of tomorrow's election and know exactly what it is that they're preparing? I see from you there that you already have someone with you. So go for it.
Yes, the mood here in Plateau is something of very, very interesting, and a lot of people are eager to see that they go out there to cast their votes. They are eager to see the conclusiveness of this exercise, have to wait for some days to see that they have their governor-elect. I have with me the man in charge of Buddha education with INEC Plateau State, Mr. Osaratin Imahirabo. Well, he's just coming in because there have been a lot of meetings upon meetings by INEC, and like I told you earlier on, the INEC National Commissioner, Professor Simbine, and just came in, and they've been having rubbing minds on how to perfect the supplementary elections to be successful. Mr. Imahirabo, how far has INEC gone to make sure that this exercise is successful tomorrow?
Well, thank you. Yemi, I know that right now the level of preparation is very high. You recall that during the previous exercise, there were a lot of complaints about the card readers not working. But as we speak, we're using what the people call RATEC, those who were in charge of the various card readers, fixing of card readers, are going to serve as our APO1s. So they are the ones that will use the card readers. And secondly, we're using our staff. Like you just said, Professor Antonio Sibini is here. The resident electoral commissioner from Gombe is here too to assist the resident electoral commissioner here in Plateau. All our rack centers and the 19 rack centers are, as we speak, activated. All our staff have been moved to the various rack centers, and they are being given refresher training right now. Around 3 o'clock today, we had a refresher training with the collation officers. And so, as we speak, everything for tomorrow's election is ready.
Now, in the previous elections, there were some issues concerning some of the ad hoc staff. And we learned that some were even granted bail. How has it been so far, particularly the one that has to do with the missing card reader?
Well, I think that is something subject to investigation. The police is still looking at that. That is out of our hands because it's something that has to do with something that is missing. I'm sure the police will, at the end of the investigation, come out with what exactly the situation is. As regards most of our, maybe the ad hoc staff that didn't perform well, you know, the number that we're using now is quite low. We're using about total number of people that will be using for the exercise is about 404. And so we ensure that those who are very effective that will be used. And like I told you when we started, I said we're using our staff. So all our staff are going out as either SPOs, APOs 2 and 3. And then those who are handling the card readers are those who are used to the system. So we may not have the same challenges we had during the presidential and the governorship elections.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Well, that is how it has been from Jos. All is now set. Everyone is looking ahead to see that the supplementary election is successful. Over to you in Lagos.
All right, thanks a lot, Yemi, over there in Plateau State. Interesting that you know, the officer there is saying that they should not have the same challenges that they had the last time, and preparations are in top gear. I mean, these are things we're hearing. So we hope.
They talk about the fact that they're going to use their staff this time. That's so the reliance on ad hoc staff this time, because the population of those involved here is not as much as in the previous elections. That maybe that should also introduce some level of better monitoring and supervision into the process and make it easier to control the outcome.
Hopefully.
Hopefully.
Again, yeah, hopefully.
Yes, again,
it's always hopefully.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Hopefully.
It's always hopefully. I don't know if now we can go to our Abuja studios.
I think so.
Where we have left Kabir Adamu and Shamsuddin Yusuf for quite a while. Okay, there they are. Gentlemen, you've heard the updates from the 2 states where our correspondents have just reported. And they talk about anticipation, hope, talking to the officials there and talking to the voters, potential voters, that is, that it does look like tomorrow everything is set. Yemi talked about that from Jos. Nanchin in Kano also made mention of that, and the voters also used the words, we pray, that tomorrow things will be. On balance, let me start with you, Shamsuddin Yusuf. On balance, is that what it is? Is it a prayer that things will be better, or do we have actual facts on the ground to support this?
You know, we are very good at praying in the country. So, and in the last few days, we've also received a lot of reports from Kano, people going to different mosques, praying that their preferred candidate should win the election. So I think we just need to work with what we believe in, and you know, we expect that people should come out tomorrow. I think with respect to the question you asked earlier, that is the voter apathy.
Yes. Do you think they will come out tomorrow?
It's quite an interesting. Gamma Ward case in Nasarawa local government is quite an interesting case. Well, the ward constitute the number of registered voters in that ward constitute 31.8% of the entire registered voters in different wards across Kano State that will be, you know, coming out to vote tomorrow. But we also need to realize the fact that we have people on registered voters does not mean those people will be eligible to vote tomorrow, because they must first have their PVC before they can come out to vote. But one other thing that I would like to say is that Ghana case, the report that we've been receiving so far, we've seen that if you look at the difference between the first and the second in the last governorship election, the total number of registered voters in Gamma Ward in Kano State will play a significant role in actually determining who becomes the governor of the state. And that is the reason why we would see that in the last few days, we've actually received a report of incident of vote buying by different political vote buying brokers of different parties in the state. And we also experience in recent times seeing a lot of development projects going on in that state that a lot of onlookers have actually alleged there's a form of voter inducement, which boils down to the question of why such development projects actually, being done there prior to the time that the supplementary election is still be conducted in that part of the state. But generally, if you want to look at the reason why people come out or do not come out to vote is a function of several reasons. One of those is having trust in the system, and I think the largest and the INEC has tried as much as possible to give people the impression of the need for them to come out to vote because of the adequate logistic arrangement in the lead up to the elections. But other factors which is quite fundamental is the security concerns because in a political system that has a lot of, people exhibit a lot of anxiety over a potential violence or threat or violence, people sometimes do not come out to vote. And
I have to come in now briefly. We will come back to you. We will come back to you to also talk about what the political parties should be doing, because everybody's talking about INEC and what they should have done, but it's their party, so what should they have done as well? We'll talk about that when we come back from the break.